What is up? When I tell y'all this was whack, this was whack. This was so whack, y'all. Like, I thought I had my thing set up for my freaking iPad and it didn't work. I don't know what that was about. But thank goodness I have a laptop. That was so whack. I'm so sorry. Like, I have to pat myself on the back because I was really calm actually. Like, I found myself literally looking up how do I go live from a scheduled, I don't know, y'all. You know what? Whoever is watching right now, let's just take a deep breath, please. Because that just pissed me off, all right? Let's take a deep breath together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Goodness gracious. Technology. I thought I knew what I was doing. Anywho, how are y'all feeling tonight? I feel like a pure artist right now that's showing up live, late as I don't know what. Oh my goodness. How are you? If anyone is in here, just like remember to hit the like button. And also comment in the chat, please. Just say here or like what's up. Something. Because I'm definitely doing this to connect with y'all. I don't know who came one time, but thank good for the late tardy people tonight. Hey! Oh my gosh, Irina, like I could not go in live from my iPad. It's so weird. But I'm glad I have my good old faithful laptop. Anywho, y'all, let's get this party started. Well, it's really not a party, it's a relaxation. But let me put my relaxation music on right now because that just pissed me off. Like for real, for real. But okay. So for those that don't know me, or for those that may be watching the replay, my name is Koi, Queen Koi in the building. Hey, Monique. Okay, like I hit you up and everything. I was like, do you know how to do that? What did you say? Hey, I was on another page on mute, but I'm here. Okay, cool. Let's get out of that. Let's go back to my music here. But yeah, so if you guys don't know me, my name is Queen Koi, aka Koi, and I help solo entrepreneurs really create their craft, tap into their unique offer in their business, in their startup, wherever they're at in their business, and really help them birth their ideas so they can actually connect the dots with the branding components and really step into the business that they are really desiring. Okay. And I do that in multiple ways, but I like to specialize in people that are dealing with burnout. Because guess what, y'all? I have dealt with burnout numerous times, and we're going to talk about burnout. It's different degrees of burnout. I know, like, when I was younger, when people used to be like, oh, they're burnt out. Like it was kind of like a negative thing. It was kind of like people that were kind of like disconnected with their life in general, right? It wasn't more so about like the self-care, but that was because I wasn't really even in entrepreneurship. Just around some hood mofos. But now that I've been an entrepreneur for about 10 years now, showing my age, it's like exhaustion. I'll just say, just straight up exhaustion. And it can be caused from numerous things, but we talk about work burnout here because the people that I connect with, my clientele, they are working in corporate, right? They're working other jobs, multiple jobs, whatever, right? Freelancing. And it comes a point in your life where you wind up spreading yourself way too thin. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's exhaustion mentally and physically, right? Which then affects you emotionally. And it can start creating blocks within your business for sure. for sure. And the number one block that I know, especially that I've experienced, because guess what, y'all? I'm a highly creative person. My creativity diminished. And I got very upset. Like, why can't I create anything? Or I'd start creating something and I could not finish for the love of me because I was too tired, or I had too much emotional things affecting my mind where it was like, oh, you can't do that. And, like my mental health was not on point. And one thing for sure, when I say I help soul-led entrepreneurs, I help the spiritual aspect, because I'm a firm believer in entrepreneurship being a spiritual journey. There's different types of entrepreneurs, right? But there's a special kind of entrepreneur that really focuses on their passions, their heart-centered, creations, something that they just comes over them, right? And to me, I would say spirit comes over, right? There's some type of energy going on in the crown chakra that you receive these ideas, and then you're like, and then you get really fired up, and then you start utilizing your God-given talents, or you wind up finding different talents that may have been laid dormant, or talents that are new to you, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, I really need to do this. Like I feel like this is purposeful to me now, right? And you want to share it with the world. But many of us that are soul-led entrepreneurs, that are spiritual entrepreneurs, that are entrepreneurs on a spiritual journey, you have a lot of other things that are going on, right? You have things that you may be unlearning from certain programs. And when I say programs, I mean like since yay high, we've learned how to be, say, wear these labels, right? And not really connect with ourselves internally, our soul. And sometimes, a lot of times, these jobs that we work at, especially if they're not your dream job, right? I'm not trying to bash anybody that worked for someone, because everybody is not fit to be an entrepreneur. But when you get these 9 to 5s, especially if it's not your dream job, you slowly diminish yourself and disconnect from your soul. And I truly feel like on a spiritual aspect of burnout, that's what's happening. Like your soul is disconnected from your joy, your essence, and your unique you. And what happens spiritually winds up affecting you mentally, emotionally, and physically. I can go into the actual subtle bodies of the aura, but I don't want to make it about that. It gets a little bit complex, and it starts talking about your different chakras. Your chakras also are affected. And this is where I love to create my niche around burnout, is because I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I went through multiple journeys, right? Throughout my spiritual journey, I realized I wasn't resonating with Reiki, but with Reiki, right? Reiki, I feel like in short is like the gatekeeper or the gate opener to other energy aspects, energy healing. And it does start with your chakras, your 7 main chakras that are in your body. And the chakras are all functioning inside of us. They're helping us connecting the energy source to the life force energy, right? And it allows us to feel certain things within our organs, within our body even, right? It generates our organs, our livelihood, our vitality. And sometimes certain areas of the energy in the chakras wind up becoming closed, right? I don't want to say really closed, more so blocked, or too open, right? Overactive or underactive. And think of it like a light bulb, right? Like if I turn down this light, it starts dimming. And then if I brighten it, right, it's almost like it's expansive. And expansive can actually be negative in a certain aspect, right? So I just jumped right in actually, because I had a little list that I was going to tell you like what's going on. But like for those that may not know me, this is what I do, right? I don't always show up late, but I don't know. This just happened this way. But I like to incorporate my soulful gifts that I like to bring to the table. We're going to do a card reading. I love tarot, y'all. I love all things esoteric. I love diving into just different spiritual things, metaphysical things, i.e., Reiki, chakra healing. And I get kind of nerdy with it. But I also, in a grounded sense, right, and not a woo-woo sense, it's about self-care. It's about energy, and it's about energy hygiene, right? A lot of people don't talk about that, right? But energy hygiene at its simplest is boundaries. And for me, a recovering people pleaser, I had to learn boundaries the hard way. And honestly, I'm not even going to front. I'm still learning boundaries, y'all. But as a business owner, especially, you need boundaries, just like you need the time of day that you're working, right? Like if you had a storefront, you're not going to just be like, hey, I'm open whenever, just come through, right? You're not going to do that. This is not Walmart 24/7, okay? You want to have some type of boundaries with your customers, your clients, even with yourself. Not only am I a recovering people pleaser, I work extra hard. And this is what has caused my burnout. For any astrology heads, I have my Mars in the 6th house. And it really was funky when Saturn and Pluto was all up in my 6th house, which actually caused me to have some health issues, physical health issues. And this is what I'm saying, like burnout can get really, I was doing research, not to get too dark because I want to keep a little light, but burnout can cause like suicidal ideation even. So again, like burnout on a spiritual level, if your spiritual energy is funky, it's automatically going to dysregulate and misalign your mental health and your emotional health, right? As well, in turn, your physical health. It really depends on who you are, what type of body you are, right? But let's talk about the blocks, okay? How does burnout block you from your business, okay? So to me, I'm going to write, like I was saying, because I kind of got sidetracked of deep diving into burnout. Creatively, right? Like if you have creatively, mentally, and emotionally, if you are just not regulated, if your emotions aren't regulated, if your mental health is not like balanced, it can cause you to have a lot of stagnation, right? Stagnant energy, procrastination, not allowing you to achieve the creative ideas that you want. It can somewhat give you a depressive attitude towards things. It can make you anxious and worried, right? And all these things that I just spoke about have a common theme. It's not allowing you to create. It's not allowing you to get things done. And it's a tricky situation because burnout, like if you're going too hard, too much of a hustle, you're going to make that burnout worse, right? And it all goes back to self-care. And when I say self-care, it's like radical self-care. It's radical self-love as well. Because sometimes when you're trying to get things done for your business, especially in this day and age of social media, and you're like, hey, does anybody hear me? Hey, I got this great thing going on, right? And no one's interacting with you or saying anything or recognizing you or encouraging you, and you don't have the support that you need as an entrepreneur. That can affect you too. And this is why I love doing what I do, because I really feel that entrepreneurs need the support and the care that they need. My soul-led entrepreneurs, most definitely, because you're passionate. But passion and overdrive can turn into obsession, right? It can turn into self-loathing, because these things, like, it could turn into this remorse now of this passion. It's like, Dad, why is this not working? Why is it not working for me, right? So let me know if any of this is hitting for y'all right now. I'm shuffling my cards. I'm going to do a collective reading just to get into the energy and the vibes of doing what I do. And if you have any questions about branding, right? Because that's also my specialty. I've heard and met a lot of people say they know what branding is, but then they don't know what branding is, right? Because you know what? Branding has a big umbrella of different things. Branding has a design aspect, it has a marketing aspect as well. And some people do one or the other. Some people do all of it. I dabble in everything. My forte is design. But I have learned a lot of branding and actually campaigning too. Like, and that goes in the realm of marketing. So we got the 5 of Wands here. I don't know if y'all can see, but if you see this person laying on the ground, he looks burnt out. But there's somebody else right here. 5 of Wands talks about defeatists. Right? It says defeat right here too. But it's also competition. It's also rivalry. Sometimes it doesn't have to deal with 2 people. It could just be the fight in between the mind. You know, there's a saying, a quote in one of my cards that says, don't let I think it says negative talk in between your ears. I'm chopping the whole quote up, y'all. But it's basically talking about, like, you know, you can be fighting your own self, basically. Right? So, let's talk about this. Let's see. Let's give a collective reading. I think this is a perfect card that Spirit's giving me. More 5s. 5 is also about change, too. And things can get rough. I think I read somewhere that it's over 50% of startup companies wind up failing their business within the stage of growth, right before the stage of growth, because that little small level up, right? It's almost like if you were a baby and you were trying to take a step up, you've never taken a step up before. That's that unknown phase. And a lot of times we all go through this within our life phases, but within the business phase, right? When we're stepping into unknown territory with that growth expansion, it gets difficult. And then you have to question yourself, like, do you have the tenacity for it? Do you have the determination for it? Or will you feel defeated, right? And sometimes we feel defeated because we don't have the support that we need, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, right? And sometimes we're crying over spilt milk as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is the 5 of Cups. And all the 5 of Cups always has 3 cups spilt over and 2 cups in the background. They're paying attention to, it's almost like that spilt milk, right? That quote that says, crying over spilt milk. Clean it up. Do you not know how to clean it up? Maybe because you don't have the actual supplies to clean it up. And sometimes with burnout, when it's really affecting you emotionally, like grieving an old business, grieving, I don't want to say grieving rejection, but dealing with rejection, or even just stuck on something, you know, and it just really does something to you emotionally. That can happen too, you know. So where are y'all at here? Let me know if this is hitting for y'all. Let's get 2 more cards to talk about this. Mm-hmm. Whoa. More fives. It's so interesting. Let me get one more card. It is, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I love the interaction, so I'm going to be calling you out. Calling whoever's out. Thank you for the likes, y'all. Yep. You guys in here must know how to do the lives. I remember the first live I went to on YouTube. Someone was like, please like. And I'm like, how? When I was in the chat. But you just got to go out of the chat and like and come back in, basically. I'm sure they probably fixed it by now. Let's get one. Yeah, that 10 of Cups. So we're talking about emotions, and our emotions, it's interesting. Like our mental definitely can create these feelings, right? Like our mental sometimes people think logical about their emotions. That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes your emotions don't make sense. A lot of times your emotions don't make sense. Your feelings, right, are a tad bit different, because your feelings is literally something that you're feeling, like on your body, within your body, right? And then you connect it with a word like, okay, I feel sad, right? But sometimes, if you go even deeper, especially like talking about like empaths and people that are super sensitive to energy, sometimes you're feeling these emotions and you have no idea where it's coming from. And that actually more than likely goes into talking about like trauma and stuff. And when we talk about trauma, it's a big T trauma and a little T trauma. I remember this girl that I've spoke with and grew to befriend. I love when she says that. She's like, trauma happens every day, but it's a little T trauma and there's a big T trauma. So I'm like, yes. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're just going to get into the fact that how it blocks us, like emotionally. And like sometimes we've been like, if we're not really like checking ourselves, looking within and like really feeling into our heart space, we might kind of grow cold or numb, right? Like, oh my gosh, this always happens to me, right? And then like you kind of are in this mindset now that doesn't really allow you to authentically feel. And we need those feelings and emotions to create things. And this is why I love helping entrepreneurs with their profitable passions, because when you're passionate about something, you want to take action, right? And you want to do something, and who wouldn't want to be paid for like doing things that they love, right? Entrepreneurs do. But sometimes we have these ideas, right? That like, okay, well, if I want to do something that I love, well, why isn't people liking it, right? One, people might not understand it. Two, you might not be able to express it. And three, it might just not be what your audience, who you're speaking to, needs. So when we're talking about branding, right, we can build a business, a startup company. But when you actually start branding the company, we're now niching down. We're actually pinpointing certain unique ideas, unique things like target audiences, unique things like your logo and your brand colors, right? That people remember, because colors are very psychological and very subconscious. And what else comes with branding? The way you market. And the way we market now is like, this is marketing, just talking and connecting with people. Marketing can also be like a billboard, which most people don't do anymore, right? But we still see them from time to time when we're driving past. Those are usually those corporate people, because they got the big bucks. But you know what I'm saying? Like there's a strategy, there's a development that goes into connecting with your audience in a unique, tailored way that allows them to feel seen and heard, and then actually be like, oh, I need this, right? Like, I don't know if a pet rock is before our time, but I remember hearing about this thing in school, and they were talking about pet rocks. I think it was an actual toy in the 50s. Now, 50s is like so long ago, but it's just a rock. But they had to package it a certain way. They had to get their attention of certain kids a certain way so they can actually feel like, I need that. Mind you, the rock looked like any old rock that you can stumble across on the street. But you know what I'm saying? With the right marketing, the right conversation, and as soul-led entrepreneurs, we want to be authentic to our brand. So what is going on inside here? How are we expressing our emotions now? And how are we centering our energy to really start attracting people that see our value and conveying certain parts to the people, your target audience, that actually get you, understand you, and say, hey, I see you, and I would like some help with that. I see how that helps me, right? So is that making any sense to you all? Like, is this making sense? I'm going to stop and sip a little water. I don't know if my count is right, but if somebody just popped in, hello. We were just talking about how burnout blocks our creativity and blocks us from blocks us from building our business, right? The way that we want to. But if we're not helping ourselves and taking care of ourselves, how are we going to take care of the business? I had to ask myself that numerous times, but I don't know, y'all. It just didn't stick with me. I just, self-care never really was an importance to me until I wind up getting sick, and not being able to function the way that I used to function, basically. So when I say I know about some burnout, but I've also know about the recovery as well. And it's taken me a while, but this is why I like to focus in and niche into helping people with burnout, helping people connect with their brand, and also helping them prevent burnout, because this day and age, of course, we can be burnt out. Like, you think that technology actually helps us, but sometimes with all this stuff going on as an entrepreneur, we can easily burn out. Absolutely. So hello, if this makes sense. I'd like to know if you have any questions around branding. And I know there's a little delay, so I'm just going to talk. If you've checked out my YouTube page before, I don't know if you're new to this page, but I started something called Heal an Entrepreneur. There's a playlist, right? And I started asking some questions that people have. I started answering some questions that people started asking me. And I really would love to tell you all that if you have questions, right? Hello, peace. If you have questions about branding, you can definitely leave them in the comments, because I want to start picking some of the questions and actually making, a video for them. And not to mention too, I also have something that I started called the Queen of Wands Club, which gives you exclusive content around branding tips, prevention, self-care for burnout, and tutorials that can help your business, right? As well as, yes, you can ask a question, as well as some discounted events too that you guys can get. So it's like a little membership. So I'm doing questions for business right now. I'm not actually doing questions like personal readings. But if you'd like a personal reading, you can definitely check out my links and contact me. I have my email in, and I can do a personal reading for you instead of on live. So if you want to ask a question like that, we could hook up a personal reading that I'd love to do for you. But right now, I'm pulling a card um, that is all about branding, that is about your business or any like business ideas that you may have going on that you might want me to ask. I can pull one. Or something simple as like, where am I at in business, right? Okay. Well, if you're new to my channel, definitely just check out how to contact me and I can give you a personal reading. Okay. Thank you for showing up in my live. So you said, I know branding as far as design and the other aspects as far as audience, right? But what would be some ways to discover who when I have the aspects and interest? So what would be some ways to discover who, right? Is this something that you want me to pull a card for, Monique? Or is this something that you want me just to tell in general? Because like some ways that you can discover who, I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I'll just go off the top of my head how you're saying that. You have to start crafting like who do you desire to actually work with, right? Like me personally, like I remember in my freelance days, I did graphic design. I was doing branding techniques, logos, um, promotional aspects for companies and individual startup companies, right? I mean, either one would be helpful. Okay. And I was like, I just know I want to help people with graphic design. And to me, the umbrella of graphic design is web designs. It's now that we have social media, it's like social media aspects to graphic design, right? Then we have that branding aspect, the logos, packaging, right? There's different aspects to it, right? And I'm saying this to let you know there's different aspects to target audiences, right? There's the customer base, there's clients, right? Depending on, do you have a service or do you have a product? And whatever you're selling, then you have to think of like, well, either what type of people want this, and if you don't know, then maybe start looking. That's when you start kind of looking at competitors and people that are doing things similar. But then you also want to look at, what are the people that I want to work with? Because going back to my story, in freelance, it was just like whoever wants graphic design, I'll take that. But I found that I started getting like disrespectful clients, right? I started getting clients that just didn't really even know what they wanted. They're like, yeah, like especially startups. And I found it odd that if you had a startup company, but you don't know exactly what you want, you just want to hire somebody. And me, I'm not the type of person who's just going to take your money. I need you to figure these things out, right? So I found that repetitively, I was coaching people before I actually was a coach. And I'm helping them understand like what is their business, right? And all these things. So to really answer your question, Monique, you have to figure out like what type of people do you want to work with? And if you want to go that route with attracting people that you want to work with, right? You have to figure out what their needs, what their likes, what their favorites are, so you can actually attract them and align with what's going on. Now, if you just already know what you have and you kind of are like, I'm not sure who, like what, where, and you start looking at similar companies that do similar things, and you start kind of looking like, okay, hey, like maybe going in groups and seeing what they say. There is a such thing called marketing research, which I actually help people. I have a service that helps you when you're crafting this offer. We actually do something, it's certain exercises that we do that helps you attract your ideal client. Um, And I help you with marketing research. And you got to do the work though to actually connect with certain people that are like your ideal client. But there's like a certain way that you craft your ideal client, which I'm not going to get into. It's more so in the program. But there's a little bit creative way that you can visualize your ideal client, understand who they are, right, with that marketing research aspect, but also like just ask yourself, like, what type of people do I want to work with? Do I want to work with children? Do I want to work with 20-year-old men, right? Do I want to work with people between the ages of blah, 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 like so on and so on. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. Hey, glad this is still going. Yes. So Cosmic App or Dorisa, hello. I'm glad it's still going too. I came on late, girl. Let me tell you, like I had a problem signing on my own live. And I'm just like, what is going on? I don't know if people were on time, but I was hoping some people was on BP time. But anyway, so start with keywords too. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing. Definitely, this was helpful. Exactly. Because like again, like for me, like I have my own way of helping people like creatively tap in, but you do have to ask yourself like what type of people you want to work with, or if you don't, like that's just always going within first, right? And if you're not looking to attract certain people, then Dorisa definitely gave a good thing. Start with keywords. Keywords can help too. Like you don't have to be on in groups peeping other people for the competition. You can just start simply like, okay, I want to help with people with crystals and look up those things or something, right? My live went completely left. Yeah. So right now I'm just doing, I did my collective reading. If anybody doesn't have any questions around branding, just in general questions about branding, what is branding like, or if you're going through something in your business and you want me to ask, like, I can pull some cards for you, or I can just respond, like in a way, right? Like, I'm here for it. We can just do a card pull. If you'd like an intuitive message towards your business, you and your energy. Or if you just, again, have anything that is dealing with, where you might be confused with your business, where you're at. If you just want some words of wisdom or encouragement, I'm here for it. Drink some of my water. I know. And if you guys don't, you can say, no, I'm good too. But I'm just waiting for it to pop up because I know it's delayed. Dun, 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 dun. And if you haven't liked my video, please do. Monique, did you want, like, I know that you, hold on. I've been investigating a lot in my business and haven't been making return on investment yet. Okay. Yeah, ROI, return on investment. So is there a question behind that, Dorisa? Or you could have stayed on the Cosmic Act too. Yeah, let me know if there's a question behind that, Dorisa. Like, is it more of like, when is my money coming in? Because I know I'm here for that too. I don't know if it's a collective thing too. And I know that you're an astrologer, astrologist, right? You're into astrology. I'm calling you out. It may be collectively too. I know we're having a solar eclipse, right? That's about to be happening. You said, I think so. You want me to pull a card or anything for you? Just an encouraged message or anything like that? I don't know where you're at in your business, Monique. But yeah, I would love a card on just keeping my energy going. Okay, cool. So Monique, I'll put you on the back burner. Of course, you're always welcome to answer. I'll go with Dorisa. Um, but yeah, what I was saying, Dorisa, is I'm starting to think, like, is this collectively like happening? Like, where is the return on investment? Like, because something with tourists I was looking up, and we're having this eclipse season again. So I don't know. Like, I'm hoping that it's finally like, blooming from these eclipses. I don't know. You could definitely or invite me to something. I know that you may be having an event too. let's get that. You love a card on just keeping my energy going. Okay. Let's see what message is going on for Dorisa and her business. Okay. I like it. Let's get. Okay. All right, we already got strong energy coming in from you, Dorisa, in the building. Your tourist talk is on the 18th. Okay, I will definitely try to be there because I love the astrology. I love listening to it and trying to apply it in my life. However, can we get a card for Dorisa, please? Okay. I think this one will come out too. Okay. Oh, right now. All right. So we got the Hierophant for you. We got Rebirth. The lighting is off, y'all. I apologize. But we also got Knowledge. So right now, I feel like, Dorisa, I feel like you have been, like you said, you've been investing, you've been researching. There's so much light around you, though. Like, it's like you have so much abundance around you, but you quite haven't got it yet. And right now I'm getting something about your crown chakra being opened. It's almost like it's a little bit, I don't like using the word closed, but I kind of feel like, is this stagnant or is it, yeah, like I feel like the crown chakra is just a little bit stagnant compared to the other ones, but it's like so much other light around it, right? And it's almost like being more open to other possibilities that are happening. I'm looking at this bat too, like they see in the dark. Like there has been, I don't know if there's been like a dark period in your business where like you just are in the unknown phase, right? But I see you working because if you have the Hierophant, you straight off the back is spiritual teacher. But the Hierophant can be sometimes too rigid or in the box with things that they have going on, or too ritualistic where it's meaning like, what's the word? Come through with the word here. I don't know. I'm getting lost for words now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you can write in the comments, like if there's a phase that you just felt like it's been in the dark. And I just feel like you were saying, your return on investment, right? It's almost like the bat. You know how they can hear a lot? Are you listening to yourself? Are you listening deeply, especially in those times where you don't know, because maybe there's a need for you to trust your guidance, your intuition with some of these things, instead of trying to logically think like, okay, this and this, so I don't know, right? Girl, Saturn has been all up in my first house for years. Oh, okay. So does that mean like a lot of contracts too? Like a lot of lessons? I'm looking at this card too. Hierophant is about also sometimes spiritual lessons. And but it's almost like you are the one that's talking about that. And if that's true, if you're talking about spiritual lessons, maybe there's a part where you can decipher or discern what you want to share of your spiritual lessons, But if not, there's something almost like, again, with the bat, like it's almost like, are you listening? Sound frequencies, something here. Because I don't know, with Saturn in the first house too, has that been making you feel like you've been in the dark? right? Because as you see here too, there's a lot of dark, but there's also a lot of light around you. Without dark, there is no light, right? So it's kind of like, maybe, you know what's coming to mind? Sometimes, like, I don't know if you heard the term shadows, right? But certain things that we keep hidden within ourselves or just from the public, right? That we kind of deem like that we dislike or we don't like. There's a need to kind of like love up on that a little bit more, or pay attention to it, because I don't know. I just keep going back to the ear here, and this just popped up in my head too. I don't know if it's Indian culture, but there's a culture that um, believes that the ears is highly connected to the heart. And if you put two ears together, it actually forms the shape of the heart. And it's through listening, it's through sound frequency, and maybe, yeah, like, I don't know if binaural beats, if you listen to, I got the Koshi bells on here. Going to some type of sound healing, some type of sound bath would be great for you to recalibrate and open up some of those higher chakras, because there's something with the higher chakras that aren't um, quite balanced in the way that's making you kind of feel like you're hitting, or like hitting, not hitting the thing on the nail. If that's making sense, let me know. But that's what I'm getting, because there's a lot of light that's tapping in, but it's almost like not activating something. Mm, okay, but people need. Well, when you want, okay, I'm gonna just say this, like, if people want a message from spirit, then you have to ask yourself, why aren't you allowing your spirit to be shown? Where are you not connecting with your spirit on behind closed doors, even? You know, um, sometimes we have to be more vulnerable with ourselves before we can actually deliver messages. Because I can tell you for sure, with me in cards, I had a hard time um, picking up on things. Like, I literally feel and pick up and like, even see, like, like, there's certain things that I tap into, but I was really afraid of delivering the message because I didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And for a long time I had to really work through that for me internally, so I can actually be like, okay, one, I feel comfortable saying certain things a certain way. Two, I'm gonna just be me. And if it's relayed a certain way where someone doesn't like, I may not be the reader for them, like, there's just like a lot of things that I had to, because when we're talking with spirit, we're talking about ourselves as well. And we're talking about things that are internal, and we have to be able to find union within ourselves, both light and dark, right? Both unknown and known. Um, and how you get to know the unknown is by looking at those shadows that we've had hidden, those insecurities. And I hope that I'm not sounding like I'm coming at you, because I love very deeply, and I want to deliver the messages the best way that makes people comfortable. But sometimes certain messages just aren't comfortable. And if spirit tells me to say certain things, then um, I'll do that. For my lives, I don't really like going in too heavy with people's readings, because I do feel like there's a time and place for everything. And I feel that messages should be private, you know. But I feel like that's probably the sense that I'm getting with the ear for you, Dorisa, is that I feel like either one, you're hearing things and not listening to your own intuition, right? Or two, maybe you're the insecurity of delivering messages through you from spirit to whoever else is what's blocking that flow. Because if you can think about it, right, spirit coming through that crown chakra, through the heart chakra, even down to the root chakra, the return on investment sometimes, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's blocked completely, but when we're talking about on a spiritual aspect, there are certain things that allow things to actually ground into our reality. And that's why I like talking about the chakras, because like, let's just say your crown chakra is blocked. So now it's affecting your business to not only deliver messages to people, but it's also affecting you to follow your intuition. And then on that, you may, if you might, it depends on the choices that you make, right? And then like the return, the things could be right here, right? But if the door is closed, and then it's like, well, I guess I didn't see it. You know what I mean? So I really hope that the message, I just literally turned that into a personal message. I didn't mean to go in like that, but I guess it was needed for you to hear. I hope this is making sense. Let me know if it's making sense to you. If not, we can always talk, behind the scenes. Oh, thank you. But yeah, like I just feel like maybe I don't know if you listen to binaural beats or like some type of meditation music or like heart frequency, what is that, 528 hertz, something like that. You know what I mean? Like some of that music, you kind of just sit, journal, or just walk outside with it. Ask a question. That's something that I do, y'all. I don't know who's here needs to hear this too, besides Teresa, but there's sometimes you can do meditations that are like walking meditations. Before you go outside, you ask yourself a question. That way you're tapping into your subconscious, so the subconscious can bring it to your consciousness, your awareness. You go outside after that question, and you can put on regular music, whatever music that makes you feel good. Or you can put on, the relaxation music. And if it doesn't come to you in that day, that's okay, right? But it will reveal itself to you. And if you write down those questions, it like sticks to your energy even more. So those questions will be answered if you look back. Because I keep like a lot of notebooks. And y'all, when I'm like, oh my God, I sound crazy, but I got the answer and I'm like, oh, that was what it was, So I just want to share that with you. Okay, binaural beats are new to you. Yeah, Google binaural beats, because sometimes there's a frequency or a pitch, just like 428 hertz, all that. Like a lot of times it sounds melodic, right? In a harmony, kind of like how this music is playing, right? I think this is playing, it says 432. But sometimes binaural beats are just literally just the sound. And it actually helps rewire and balance your energy. And it's not for you to be listening for like a long period of time. You might want to listen to it for like 10 minutes, maybe wash the dishes with it or whatever. And it just does some subtle things to your energy. Yes. Being consistent with it. I know. Like sometimes you just need that accountability. Sometimes you need I don't know. Like, and sometimes, like maybe it's just not your season for journaling. And just not beat yourself up for it. But you don't always have to. But I would say, like, if you really kind of want to connect with your subconscious, right? Have a journal for that. And you don't have to be consistent with your journaling. Of course, consistency is always great. But just have a journal for certain questions that you want to ask yourself. and just do it, you know? So my battery is low. It's so crazy. I was prepared for this, but I was not prepared for the hiccups. But that's life for you, right? Monique, did you want me to pull a card before I leave? Because if not, y'all can catch me. I think I might do this next week. But if not next week, I just want to say thank you to the ones that are participating, the ones that are here in the live. Thank you so much. I did this last minute on a whim, but I thought of you. It came in my mind. And I said, hey, let me reach out and see, and maybe I see new faces. Maybe I wouldn't. Okay, Sarah, but, Oh, no, I'm okay. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, Monique, I got you. But yeah, I have my YouTube page. I'm going to be doing more videos on burnout prevention, burnout recovery, and how we can actually utilize our energy to focus and develop branding techniques, components for our business. And if you want more exclusive content, you can always check out my Queen of Wands Club that will actually have private interactions like this. Won't be actually public lives. It would just be a group of us that are like-minded, focusing on our business, our niche, and really developing our brand. Yeah. And I have also in my club, I have tutorials that you'll get for free and discounted events. So check it out. The links are below. Again, much love. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the love, y'all. I appreciate it. I really do. And please keep in contact with me. Because I know some of y'all have the businesses as well. I love to show up and learn new things too. I appreciate you reading for me, Doris. Allowing me to read for you, Dorisa. I'm not sure if you mentioned, do you have a schedule you will be posting on YouTube? No, but I will get back to you because I've been thinking of maybe doing Friday nights, like little Friday night dates. I know some people have lives. My social life is my work right now. So, I want to focus. I really want to focus on some things. So I may be popping up. I gotta see. But I may be doing this weekly. Not quite sure. We're just focusing on a topic, right? Sharing some parts of my crazy entrepreneurial stories to share with y'all and, doing some intuitive messages. How do you learn more? What do you mean? Like, the actual card deck or like what the Hierophant is like? Is that what you're asking, Teresa? You are so welcome, Monique. Oh, thank you, Monique. I see you posting too, so I just want to say you're doing a great job. But I'll take the compliments. I receive it all. Thank you. I appreciate you doing live and being present. I appreciate you for showing up. Thank you so much. Dorisa, I'm not sure what you meant by your question, but I don't know. I don't know these card names off the back. I use this card deck, the Awakened Soul. That's the big ones. And this is my OG deck, the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa. I don't know if y'all can see the individual card that came up. So Google it. You actually got a Major Arcana card, which means that that was potent and needed to come through. The Minor Arcanas are more so like the details of the story of the Major Arcanas. You're making me want to teach tarot, which I've thought about, but I'm not doing that right now. But I don't know. I have some good exclusive things in the Queen of Wands that I plan on showing my members. So I'm just kidding. But you had the Hierophant. Let me see if I can pull it up so you can know that. Actually, let me write it down for you. I think it's spelled like this. Oh, dang, I wasn't even typing. Hierophant. And just Google that. Hierophant tarot card and you'll find out. You'll find out some. But a lot of times when I read intuitively, I'm just going to pre-warn you. I don't always go by the book. Like I when I do intuitive messages, it's just what comes in, what feels. Sometimes I do go by the book. It's just kind of how I learned tarot though. So, but yeah, I hope that helps you. Thank you again, ladies. Thank you, replay people that are watching this. If you have any comments, questions, or any things below, just comment below and I will respond the best way I can because I love to respond. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see y'all soon again. If you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. And there's plenty more videos that come. And check out the links below, y'all. All right. Thank you. I am outie. Peace. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much. I was going to say, is this ending?